The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
My favorite guest of this year was definitely on with Darren Herbert.
Gosh, how do I choose? My favorite guest of 2022. There's been a few, but standout guest has to be Curtis Dickerson. There were so many amazing guests of 2022, but I have to say Curtis Dickerson stood out for me. I've known of Mr. Dickerson for a while, but did not know any of his background, how he was from Somerset, attended West End. It was a lot of he's not the people's person, but we were able to learn a lot of how he was the people's person. So it was a big surprise for me. And that was my favorite guest of the year.
My favorite guest was Ajala Umidele. I hope I'm not messing up his name.
My favorite guest of 2022 would have to be DJ Rusty G.
My favorite guest of 2022 would be Curry Luna.
One person who stood out to me was young Jania Seeley.
Okay, my most memorable moment. Oh, this might feel a little bit selfish, but a lot of things happen behind the scenes that obviously everyone doesn't always see. So my most memorable moment was the day when Sancha and Sherry were performing the show by themselves, and I was coming in for the news, and I decided that I wanted to do something live and on the scenes with Bermuda's Love. Now, on my way there, I actually went to the wrong location, and I was a little bit like struggled in the moment, but was still able to get there on time to actually come on live with Bermuda is Love while they were doing a protest for wanting to be more sustainable, especially with clothing and fashion. So that was probably one of my most like memorable moments, because I just remember being in such a panic, but then getting there and getting the news done and just feeling the vibe of just having it live in front of everyone. And that was probably one of my most memorable moments. Honorable mention would probably be the hurricane one as well.
My memorable moment from this year was it was episode when I first took over the show by myself. It was episode 474. I had Sherry with me, and then episode 475. But one of those I had Sancha with me on 475. But one of those shows, I started the show, so I went live on the show, and I did something wrong. I didn't play the intro for the show, and then I tried to end I ended the broadcast, and everything just went dark.
My most memorable moment of the year would have to be the first time I did an episode with Maya. Maya reminded me, or let the world know, that her and I know each other previously. I was her teacher, and it just made me think that life really goes full circle, and you would have never known that we would end up working together. So I definitely would say that would be my most memorable moment for 2022.
My most memorable moment of 2022 was when I found out that Jamal was passionate. Obviously, I'm new to the show, and our show with the Premier David Burt, I learned Jamal was very passionate, and definitely most memorable of the year.
Oh, there's so many memorable moments on this show. I think one of them would be definitely that I found out that Jamal isn't as short that as he perceives to be. So he's a lot taller than I would like to admit, and that's a memorable moment that we must put out there. But I just like the fact of the takeover. I think that was still a memorable moment for me that, females just run things and we ran it well. And yeah, that will be one of my memorable moments. And just everything. If you guys only knew the things that go backstage and how Jamal really talks to me.
When we introduced Maya and Sancha within weeks, I mean, those were memorable to me. When we brought on Tamara McHale, that's a memorable moment.
One of the things that I enjoy the most about this show is going out in public and people just coming up to me and saying, "Hey, I watched this show. I see you when you're on this show," and I have to remind myself, like, what show? Oh, right, I'm on a show, and it's not so much me being a celebrity, but the fact that we meet. The reach of this show is so vast and so wide. It's a lot wider than the people that you see in the comments all the time. It's people that don't comment that watch the show. And me, I'm hardly on this show. And so if they recognize me, I know they recognize everybody else. And it just makes me feel good that we're reaching such a wide um, spectrum of the Bermudian community.
The community aspect of it. I feel this is a platform for Bermudians, for us. And if you read between the lines, I mean, for us. Some of the other mediums or the media outlets don't necessarily tell our story. And I think you can get the good, the bad, the ugly, the political, the sports, many different the actors. It's just if you are current in Bermuda and you want to get your story out or it's relevant, it's just not hindered. And I think that is what this community needs. We need to have these honest conversations. And I'm just glad that I'm a part of this.
So, what I've enjoyed the most about being part of the Daily Hour show is the community that we built. Of course, with everyone, but just even at the small lot that we have. Like, I've learned so much from each individual here and just getting to know their personalities, who they are, what they've done, and what they've also accomplished, and just continuing to be who they are is inspiring to me.
One of the things that I like most about being on this show is that I am learning every day and I'm also being challenged. Being an entrepreneur sometimes can become very lonely. And when I became a part of this community, it opened up a door for me to be able to talk to people with like minds and then, just people with similar interest. I also like that we are always discussing community events and things that I have never heard of sometimes. So, we'll be having a discussion. I don't know anything about it. And I'm open in saying that this is a learning moment for me. And then secondly, it's also helped me to work on my brand. I have a bunch of different businesses, but I never took the time to stop and work on Sancha Durham as a brand. So for 2023, I'm looking forward to working more on my brand, Sancha Durham.
What I've enjoyed the most about being part of this show is just the amount of information and different topics that I've learned so much about and from. Sometimes I'm backstage with my head to the side, squinting because I'm really listening and taking in the information, especially about subjects that I don't know much about. Especially when we come to politics, I've been very open and honest about my relationship with politics. So just learning so much and just echoing what others may have said in regards to our community aspect and the amount of people that hit up my mom or hit up somebody and say, "Oh, I saw Sherry on TV," or on the computer and stuff. So just learning. I've learned a lot from this show.
I think what I do really, really do love is the group of people that I'm working with right now. We're a good group. Everyone gets along. We don't all agree. I mean, I'm the tallest of everybody, but for some reason, logic and physics just keep clashing. But that said, I really enjoy working with them. I think this is a great group of people. Um, and I am thankful and grateful that they trust me to do this with. Um, I think I also enjoy the guests that continue to trust our platform to have these conversations. Nowhere else can people really go, in media at least, and engage live with the commissioner of police or the governor or a premier, maybe at a town hall. But that's what I think we do differently. That's what I love about doing this. And then one of the biggest parts is this show would be nothing without live engagement from the audience. So I really, really love that part of the show. And my hope is that we continue to build on that and people continue to engage, because without the audience engagement, the show is just not as great.
The viewer that stands out the most to me, I must say, must be my former coworker, Karen Simmons. We work very close, so I always notice when she's in the comments, and she always gives me a word. I see her on the street. She asks me on the Daily Hour next, and it's nice to see her just being active in the comments and also the community.
Charles Jeffers, because he is consistent. Like, he is there pretty much every single day, and he contributes. It always offers positive insight, and it's just good to see somebody who was away from the island for so long is now back and just engaging with the community that he loves so much.
I would
So
have to say Michelle White definitely stands out to me the most. She's often always like commenting and putting her experience, personal and professional, out there for everyone to like get a glimpse, which is always great to have like that feedback and also someone to relate to or learn from. So
The audience member that stands out to me the most, I actually had three. Teresa Bento. I get to have conversations with her when I see her. She comes to Nail Bar and we sit down and we talk in depth. Sam Cat Place, she keeps me in my place whenever I'm ordering French fries. She is like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And Karen Simmons, I have seen her at so many charity events this year, and I love that she is always involved in charity.
I have a few as well, but I would like to those unknown persons that are always watching and send me messages and say, "Oh, I saw you on the show," and so forth. So those are also my favorite guests. The ones in the comment, I will have to go with Auntie Karen as well. I've known her for quite some time, and she's always cheering for me, especially when we're doing the daily hour. My mom and my sister, of course, they are on it. My mom, if she doesn't see me on there, she's like, "Yo, what is Jamal doing? Like, how come you're not been on?" So I'm loving the support from my family, and especially those who aren't always commenting, but always watching.
I would say the TDH community members that stand out the most would be, I've got a few as well. Sean DeShields, he's very engaged in the comments. Traveling Trotty, she's very engaged. Uh, Mark Arthur C. Phillips is like our biggest cheerleader in the comments every day, trying to get people to like, follow, subscribe, and become members of the channel. But I don't think I'll get out of here safely unless I say Hadaleen Stevenson Swan. So I think those are the folks that stand out the most to me, and contribute and make pretty much put us on the map, help people. And that's not to say the rest of you don't. I love you all. Trust me. I'm not Sherry.
My message for 2022 to our audience is to say thank you. Thank you for supporting the Daily Hour and this platform. And the message I would give would be to love yourself, continue to find self love, and also remember to tell your loved ones how much you love them, how much you appreciate them, and remain grateful. Um, I wish everybody a blessed and happy new year. And I wish everyone the best for whatever life has to offer. So, season's greetings, Happy New Year, Feliz Navidad, and all of that great stuff.
so my final message for everyone for 2022 and going into 2023 is just continue to be your authentic self. Continue to do what's best for you. We did a lot of shows this year about mental health. And what I've learned, and I hope everybody else can learn, is that it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to take days off for yourself. It's okay to put yourself first and put the rest of the world on pause. So please take time to do that in 2023. And we still have a little bit of time left in 2022. So make sure you do that for the rest of this year as well. Love you. See you next year.
My final message for 2022 is thank you for trusting us in our platform, and I look forward to growing and learning with you in 2023. Season's greetings, Happy New Year, and all of that great stuff.
Okay, my final message to everyone for 2022 is to just continue to love and love hard and love each other and speak up for each other. And don't forget to hold each other accountable too. What I've learned this year the most is, you know, people can go in an instant. So hold on to the ones that you love and let them know that you love them. Remind people to do the right thing. When you see something that's wrong, speak up about it, and just try to love more. That's all I could really say. So that would be my final message to the audience, and to thank them for just continuing to be on this platform and to listen and to learn and to share what they have with us as well. So thank you.
My final message of 2022 would be firstly to thank the audience. I appreciate all your words and support, and we hope that you continue to, support us and go on with us in 2023. Ask everyone just to be safe and continue to support each other. I think Bermuda's in a tricky space, but I think if we all work together and hold each other accountable, we can go forward well.
This show means so much to me because of what it can do for the community. And my message to you is please continue to give us a chance to be a voice among you so that we can get closer to the solutions that our community needs to continue moving forward. Like any other year, I think we've had our ups and downs, as a community and as a country, but whether blessed or lucky, here we are today. As we reflect on this calendar year, let us remember every moment, learn from every lesson, grow, turning the pains of 2022 into success in 2023 and beyond. On a personal note, my mother transitioned 6 days into 2022, and while losing a parent hurts, and it's a feeling none of us want to experience, people like myself found a bit of strength in knowing that she knew her children had the tools to be some of the greatest contributors to our community because of her sacrifice and parenting. She's missed beyond words, but appreciated and loved forever. As far as the daily hour goes, I don't look at colleagues as family. They would tell you. I look at them as a team or a group of people who work well to achieve or exceed the professional goals that we set out to do. I can honestly say this group of people's changed my mind. They are my sisters, my brothers, and I absolutely love working with all of them and can't wait to see where our dedication and commitment to our craft leads us. So in closing, I'm going to say this. It's not easy waking up doing this. Don't let what you see on camera fool you. Some days it's very emotional backstage where we go there. It's tough. It's really tough. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I really would not. The love and respect you, the TDH community, show us is really humbling and it's appreciated. So thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Windows, and Mac People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you. We love you and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. On behalf of everyone at Bermuda Communications Group Limited, thank you for your unwavering support in 2022. And we're wishing you and your families a holiday season like none other. Make it a great one. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you live in 2023.